Hi, I'm Ria. Welcome. And this is a reflection practice. It's a place to slow down, become more aware, and explore the questions that quietly shape our lives. I believe that every season of life asks us something different of us. Sometimes it asks us to let go. Sometimes it asks us to begin again. And sometimes it simply asks us to pause long enough to notice who we're becoming. So before we begin, let's take a moment to arrive to now. So if you would like to go ahead and close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and take a deep breath in. And then gently let go. Let's go ahead and do that again. Slowly take a deep breath in. And gently let go. And notice where you are. Feel your feet touching the floor, or your body resting in the chair beneath you. Notice your hands, the shoulders. Notice what your body needs. If you need something, like some water, or if you need another deep breath. And see if you can just soften a little. Notice the sounds around you. Notice your heartbeat, your breathing. And now, notice yourself. All of you, all parts of you. Not the version of yourself that is just trying to keep everything together. Just you. Exactly as you are. And as we begin today, I'd like to invite you to carry a question that may resonate with you or something similar. So my question is, who had I already become before motherhood found me? So I've been thinking about that question this week, and actually this question, it first came up when I was with my son and we were having a play date with another little person, and we were in one of those indoor playgrounds, those kinds of places where there's like a ball pit, there's a slide, there's a lot of kids running around, there's a bunch of different toys and a make-believe city and cars and trampolines, you name it, something so fun for kids, and also they can burn off all their energy. And somehow in amidst all that, I was like, wow, this is my life now. And, with all this joy and also chaos, my life is all about play, like always a playground. And I was like, wow, who had I already become before motherhood found me? And it's not what I had accomplished, not, the kinds of degrees that I earned, which was a lot of work, seriously. Not the different jobs that I've held. And I had a lot of different jobs, from like investment banking to some things in the creative to, as a PA physician assistant. None of those things but it was the thing I was thinking of was, who was I becoming? Because before I never became a mother. Before I became a mother, I already had spent decades, seriously, living, breathing someone else before motherhood. One of the biggest things is that, I'm the eldest daughter in a Filipino family. So responsibility came early. Achievement was familiar. Working hard wasn't something I questioned. It simply felt that's just the way it is. Like, it's kind of like, do you try to breathe air? No, it's just you're breathing air. That's how you're living. And as I mentioned before I became a physician assistant, so working in medicine, helping people, solving problems, and staying calm during uncertainty for them. And it just kind of naturally fell aligned with all the other kind of roles, like being dependable, being responsible. Those weren't just things I did. Over time, that kind of idea, that became the way I understood myself. The responsible one, the capable one, the helper, the one who gives, the one who people could count on, being reliable, dependable, and enduring. And maybe you've carried identities like that too. Maybe yours are different. Maybe you're the strong one. Maybe you're the peacemaker. That's another one. The buffer, you could say. The achiever. The caregiver. The one who keeps going. And sometimes we wear these identities for so long, we forget we ever put them on. These roles. Then motherhood, it comes. And if you follow my work, it's not in the way that I hoped and prayed it would be. It came through IVF. It came after having loss. It came with a pregnancy that ended much earlier than I expected. It came with weeks in NICU. That sense of feeling that I failed my son. For a time, a long time, with all that, I wasn't asking big questions. I was surviving the moment to moment. And don't get me wrong, survival has its own wisdom. It helps us get through what feels impossible. But survival doesn't leave much room for anything else. So right now I'm looking back, and I don't think motherhood created an entirely new version of me. I think what it did, it revealed parts of me that had been quietly shaping my life for years. Some of those parts became incredible strengths, like being dependable. It helped me. Being calm, it helped me. Being able to keep going helped me. But other parts, they became heavier. Feeling like I had to carry everything by myself. Not being able to ask for help. Thinking I should already know what I was doing. And other people thinking I would already know what I'm doing. Believing I had to earn rest instead of just receive it. Motherhood didn't create those beliefs. It gently revealed them. And the more I reflected, the more I wonder, maybe this isn't only about motherhood. Maybe every major transition asks us the same questions. Who have I become? And what am I ready to carry into the next season of life? Because life keeps changing. It's a cycle. A child is born, a career changes, a marriage or a relationship begins or ends. Someone we love or ourselves gets sick. We become caregivers. We become cared for, needing care. We retire. We begin again. And all these seasons, each of these seasons invites us to look at ourselves with fresh eyes. Not because who we were was wrong or deficient or not enough, but because we continue growing. And lately, I've been wondering something. Maybe the deepest work isn't becoming someone completely different. Maybe it's remembering who we are beneath everything we've learned to carry and all the conditioning that we have. Not returning to the past, but reconnecting with the parts of ourselves that are still true, our true selves. Those parts that don't depend on achievement, productivity, perfection. These parts, these quiet parts that have always been there, are tender parts, waiting patiently for us to notice them again. They're vulnerable. So, before we finish today, I'd like to leave you with a few questions of your own that you can reflect on. Not to answer right away, but simply to have and to think about and reflect on. Like, who had you already become before life became what it is today? What identities have served you well? Which ones helped you survive? Which ones still feel deeply true? And are there any you're ready to gently set down? As you leave today's reflection, I hope you remember something. Your life is more than the roles that you've carried, more than your resume, more than what you've accomplished, more than what you've endured. Each of us carry gifts that the world has never seen in quite the same way that you are. Your way that you love, your way of noticing, your way of creating, your way of caring. Just who you are. Those things matter. Sometimes they become hidden beneath the responsibility or expectations. And reflection isn't about becoming someone worthy. You already possess inherent dignity simply because you're human. Reflection is about creating enough space to recognize the wisdom, compassion, strength that have been with you all along and who you are. Thank you for sharing this reflection with me. And if these conversations resonate with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and join me for future reflections. And if you're looking for a place to explore questions like these with others, I've opened up my Founding Reflection Circle. Just 5 people, a quiet place where we'll slow down together, reflect together, and witness one another with honesty and compassion. You'll find more information in the description below. So until next time, take gentle care of yourself, and let's all take one more slow breath. And let go. I'll see you in the next reflection. This is Ria. Bye for now.